Hello and welcome to Roadmap 2019, a program where we talk to some of the major actors in Nigeria's journey to the general elections of next year. I am Ladi Akeredoluale. Thanks for joining us. My guest on today's edition is one of those who is supporting a continuation of President Muhammadu Buhari's federal government after the elections next year. In his home state, he insists that a lot has been done to improve education and health facilities, but also as well to improve on security and economic fortunes of Nigeria as a whole. He also assures that whatever differences of opinion he may have with other leaders of the country from his home state will be resolved in the long run. Please join us as we talk to the Bauchi State Governor, Mohammed Abubakar. Your Excellency, thank you very much for agreeing to speak with us.
Thank you.
Bauchi is a fairly distant place for many people. They hear about it in the news, and then it's not one of the more controversial states where there's always one thing or the other happening. What has it been like governing that state in the last 3 years or thereabouts?
Well, I must say it has been an experience governing Bauchi State. Even though I grew up in Bauchi, I rose through the ranks in the service of Bauchi State until I became a director, and then I later on became Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. But coming back as the political head of Bauchi State is quite an experience. The state may be far away from all the centers of action, but if you recall, virtually politics itself of at least the northern parts of Nigeria started in Bauchi with the Bauchi Discussion Circle, which was set up by the late Saadu Zungur, the late Prime Minister, and the late Malam Aminu Kano.
That's right.
You know, so this was how politics evolved. So it has given Bauchi a very, very complex mien as far as politics is concerned. So it's a pretty difficult state to manage. And then and the economics of the nation have not helped matters, you know. There's a lot of poverty prevailing amongst the people of the state. And because over time education has been neglected, there's a lot of illiteracy. So what that has bred is an army of youth that are generally unemployed. Quite a number of them educated, some half educated, and some not educated at all. And one has to contend with all those problems among many other problems.
Now, you did allude to economic problems, but some would ask the question that very recently it was said that gold was discovered in Bauchi. Yeah. What are your plans for that? Because people are saying that, okay, it's happening during your tenure, and maybe so you are going to be the first to benefit from this. What's the update on that? What's happening there?
Well, the update on gold, it's not just gold alone. I believe that most of solid minerals known to man, you know, are found in one part of Bauchi State or the other. Over time, that sector had been neglected by both the federal government of Nigeria and the state governments. The state governments for good reasons, because their hands are tied, so to speak. The Constitution provides that minerals are under the exclusive legislative list, so they can't be touched by the states. And then the Minerals Act too compounded the situation. With the provisions of the Minerals Act, you can go to Abuja with your briefcase and obtain a license. And if you get to my state, you do not bother to come to me. You can go to the community and obtain what is called the consent of the community. So for the first time, as far as I'm concerned, and as a lawyer, I have found a situation where the law has avoided constituted authority completely. Because constituted authority in the state is the state government and the local governments. They are not involved at all as far as the Minerals Act is concerned. But then that is not just it. Over time, when we realized that we have abundant mineral resources, solid minerals all over Nigeria, all over, what the federal government should have done over time was to set up a fund, which, thank God, has been set up now under this government. You know, we haven't started accessing the money, but it has set up. It has been set up, so it's a step in the right direction. This fund would have gone into producing what all over the world is called bankable reports. Because it's not enough for you to say, I have discovered gold in Bauchi. Yes, I have discovered gold. But so what? Who knows whether this gold is pure enough to be mined? Who knows whether this gold is available in commercial quantities? All this can only
come from
be
these
answered,
reports
through these bankable reports, scientific reports. So what I've done with the gold, to answer your question, is I took a tiny sample of it to the Czech Republic. Just prior to the discovery of the gold, I had engaged a consulting firm, world-renowned consulting firm in the Czech Republic called GET, G-E-T. So I was going for a meeting with them, so it came as a coincidence, this gold was discovered, so I took a tiny sample of it, and I took it to them. They subjected it to their various scientific tests. Before I left, I spent about 5 days in the Czech Republic. Before I left, they were able to produce a report for me, which indicated that that gold was 94% pure, two, that the main source of the gold is about 20 kilometers away from where that sample I took was found. That is what science can do for you. So this is what I am doing. I have engaged GET now. There's another world-renowned consultancy firm called Norian. I'm processing to also engage them so that they can go around the state, the various minerals that are found in the state, for them to do these scientific studies for us and produce these bankable reports. Otherwise, we'll just be making forays to foreign lands, drinking tea, speaking grammar with potential investors. Nothing will come out of it.
Now, of course, you don't foresee you're having a problem with getting necessary approvals from the federal government, especially in view of what you talked about, the exclusive and the concurrent legislation. You don't foresee any problems?
I must say there has been a very great change of heart on the part of the federal government of Nigeria. Even though the Constitution is rigid, therefore very, very difficult to amend, but steps have been taken from the inception of this government to relax a lot of the rules and regulations provided for by the Minerals Act, to the extent that there is greater participation on the part of the state governments now in respect of these solid minerals.
Now, is there any link between that and the issue of land grabbing? Because just more recently, again, in Bauchi, there was this whole issue of land. Is it linked to people speculating that, okay, with these discoveries of these minerals, what they control in terms of land could eventually prove more profitable than agriculture? Is there a link?
Actually, the land grabbing issue started in a local government called Algaleri local government. That local government is endowed with a lot of mineral resources, starting from hydrocarbons, oil and gas, starting from that. Because about 25 years ago, Shell and Chevron went and prospected for oil in Algaleri local government. They drilled only one well, which they call Kolmani River 1. Kolmani River 1 showed oil, but they allege not in commercial quantities, but it showed gas. All right, so now that there's a reinvigoration of this prospecting by NNPC in conjunction with some Chinese companies, people have started rushing to Algaleri local government to grab land.
What is your government going to do about that?
No, we have already decreed that no land should be given to anybody without first the consent of the governor, which is by law. By law, you
under
cannot.
The Land Use Act,
yes,
anyway.
under the Land Use Act. In the past, for land that is in the local government areas, not too much attention is given. But now, particularly in El Caleri local government, I have given clear written instructions to the chairman of the local government, never to allocate land to anybody without first clearing with the state government.
Now, let me take you in a slightly different direction, but of course still staying in your state. Now, the whole issue of health now. More recently also there was the issue of polio and what the state government and indeed the federal government was doing with that particular ailment in Bauchi State. What's been your experience? I know that polio is one of the things that ought to have been eradicated by now, but then there were complexities at various levels. What's been your own experience with tackling polio?
We're doing very well as far as that is concerned. Why? Because we have the support of international and local philanthropists and donor agencies. I inherited a tripartite basket between Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Dangote Foundation, and the Bauchi State government. When I came on board, Dangote, in protest, had stopped paying money into the basket because Bauchi State was failing in their responsibilities. But the moment I came in, I showed good faith. Before the first review, we usually do a midterm review with them. It will be a video conferencing, you know, with Bill wherever he is, Dangote wherever he is, you know, and myself in Bauchi.